Hey guys, it's Matthew from BeInfluence.com. Thanks for stopping by the YouTube channel today. And in case I haven't got the opportunity to tell you yet, Happy New Year. And I hope that you have the best 2017 possible. And with that in mind, this time of year, everybody's setting New Year's resolutions. And that is really what I want to talk to you guys about today. But first, let me tell you something. New Year's resolutions are complete and utter bullshit. They are. Because you don't need for the calendar year to flip over for you to make changes within your own life. Whether it's March 23rd, June 16th, whatever the case is throughout the year, if you feel that you need to make changes in your life, go ahead and do them. You don't need to make a New Year's resolution. So, first and foremost, the fact that you're making a New Year's resolution, I first want to implore you and tell you that it's awesome. The fact that you're making New Year's resolutions is fantastic, and I want you to keep moving forward upon those New Year's resolutions. So today, what I really want to talk about is three different things. First, I want to tell you guys a little bit of story about myself, what a New Year's resolution I had a couple years ago was. I want to give you guys a framework that you guys can use within your own lives to make sure that you're going to stay on the right process to achieving your goals in 2017. And thirdly, I want to tell you guys a little bit more about me and what I hope to accomplish in 2017. I'll also reflect on the year that I had in 2016. So first, let me tell you a little story about myself. You know, growing up as a kid, I was always enthusiastic about fitness, health, etc. And every single year I made a New Year's resolution in my own mind. I never wrote it down on paper for myself to become more actively fit, right? And yes, I know I don't look like I have a problem with that, but that's because I changed that in 2015. I was kind of disappointed. I looked at myself in the mirror one day after school and I decided, Matt, maybe this is what I need to change, Maybe 2015 is a year about making changes to my health and body, making those acknowledgments that those things that need to be changed within my own life. And so it was halfway through January and it wasn't a New Year's resolution by any means. And this is why I kind of say that they're bullshit, because if you want to make changes, you don't need it to be the first day of the year. You can have it halfway through January, halfway through March, whenever the case is, and you can still make those changes necessary. So in 2015, halfway through January, I realized to myself, you know what, I gotta get in shape. I was 20 years old at the time, and I thought to myself, you know what, you're supposed to be in the best shape of your life, but you're not. So let's get in the best shape of your life. So what I did was I started going to the gym routinely, right? I started going to the gym 4 or 5 times a week. When I first started going to the gym, I couldn't lift very much. My bench was only about 45 pounds on each side, so not very much. I think it was 135 or 125. I couldn't bench very highly. But I set a goal for myself in 2015 for that summer, at the very end of summer, to be able to bench my body weight. And I was weighing in about 150 at the time when I first started working out. And by the end of the summer, I was weighing about 160. And believe it or not, 2 months before that I was supposed to be able to bench my body weight, I accomplished my goal. Simply because I followed the routine, I followed the process, I stayed true to where I was going, right? I stayed disciplined to myself that no matter what the case was, I had to go to the gym. Because if I couldn't make changes to myself and my body, how was I supposed to make changes to other areas of my life? You can't. If you can't stay disciplined in one, you won't stay disciplined in the other. That's just a little personal philosophy of mine. So essentially in 2015, it was the year of acknowledging that if you set a goal for yourself, you can accomplish it. And that has transpired into 2016 as when I set goals for myself on January 2nd about what I wanted to accomplish that year. And in that year alone, I set 8 different goals for myself, 6 of which I completely hit on the target, 1 I completely missed the boat, and 1 I somewhat hit. So let's look at some of the goals for 2016 I had set for myself. So 1 was to become more involved in the startup community and network with more entrepreneurs. I cannot tell you how many people I met, from website developers, restaurant owners, people in venture capital, book authors. I met a lot of different people that did a lot of cool different things. So I was really happy with that. 2 was to read at least 12 books throughout the year. I did this. I was very happy about this. I didn't finish all 12, but I read and took all the key lessons that have been learned throughout those books. So that's a learning lesson that I have to apply into 2017 as a result. Goal number 3 was to continue education on computer programming and computer sciences. So I wanted to learn how to code and do development, right? Goal number 4 was to actually practice and implement it, which I did on my last venture I'm starting right now, which is Be Influenced. I used a lot of those techniques that I learned in the books in terms of developing my own website and designing it and going through that whole process. Goal number 5 was to become more actively fit and start losing the gut. So I didn't actually lose my gut, but I became in the best shape of my life. I built more muscle, and I weigh about 180 pounds today. So I hit that on the head. Goal number 6, start eating a little bit better. This is the one I completely missed. So eat more fruits and vegetables. I don't even know what those are. Sorry. Just bad habits, right? Goal number 7 was to bench 200 pounds 8 times. So I'm calling this a somewhat, just due to the fact that 200 pounds 8 times is a big goal to be hitting, right? Especially for myself. Start of the year I was weighing about $170 and I was benching about $170, so I wasn't even hitting the 200 pound mark. And we're talking about 1 rep max, right? So being able to do 200 pounds at 8 times, it just wasn't a realistic goal. But to that point, I did bench over 200 pounds for 1 rep. So I somewhat hit that goal of hitting the milestone of 200 pounds, but now I have to work on getting that up to 8 reps. Goal number 8 was to be continually thinking about new business ideas and start thinking about a new venture and start it, which I hit. I started at the very end of the year called Be Influenced, right? Where we bring entrepreneurs onto the show, onto the podcast, to teach you some of the tactics and strategies that they use in their own business and life so you can become more successful. So 2016 overall was a big success for myself. And with that in mind, when I set goals for 2017, I wanted to provide you with a little bit more of a framework that you can use within your own business and life so you can become more successful within your New Year's resolutions. Now, I know that I didn't set the greatest goals for myself in 2016, right? I didn't really set SMART goals, but I still accomplished them. I still hit 6 out of the 8 on the head, and I'm really still proud of it. And I'm calling it a success, right? So for 2017, let's try to use this framework. So let me tell you a 5-step framework that I'm going to be using in 2017 to be making sure that I'm going to be on the right path to be achieving my goals. So 1 is to reflect. Reflect on the past year. Reflect on the past month. Make sure that you're constantly reflecting on where you're at in your life. And when you make these reflections, make sure that you're understanding what you want to accomplish as well. Which brings me to point number 2. Set the New Year's resolution. If you want to give up smoking, acknowledge it, set that as your New Year's resolution. If you want to become more active in health and fitness, like I did for myself in 2015, and was able to bench my own weight, which was pretty good for myself for where I started, make that your New Year's resolution. Or if it's to grow your Instagram account, whatever your New Year's resolution is, set that, right? Goal number 3 is to set new goals and strategies on how you want to achieve it. So you will, as a result, you will follow up on 100 different people on Instagram per day. That should allow you to get to 1,000 followers by the end of the year, right? No matter what it is, make sure that you're setting SMART goals for yourselves. And if you don't know what SMART means, it means specific, measurable, attainable, and action-oriented, realistic, and time measures, right? SMART goals. So remember that. So when you're setting goals for 2017, you want to be setting SMART goals. And thirdly, on that list, make sure you're going to be executing on them, right? Make sure that you're setting those goals and the strategies that you want to go about them, and make sure you're executing. So that's step 3. Step number 4 in the framework is to reflect on your goals periodically. Essentially what you want to do is you want to check in every single month, check in every couple months, every week, however frequent you want to check in with yourself to make sure you're going to be going on those goals. So if your goal is to lose 100 pounds by the end of the year, or let's just say 40 pounds, what do you have to hit before January 31st? How many pounds of weight do you have to lose before September or August, right? Make sure you're reflecting on your goals periodically. So when I was starting to get more actively in shape in 2015, one of the greatest motivational factors that I had was that when I was able to put more weight onto the bench press, right? Being able to lift more. And when I started to see the progress in myself, that's when you really start to double down on it. That's where you really start saying, holy crap, it's working. Like, what I'm doing is actually working. I'm getting results from it. And then that's where it really kicks in. That's where you realize you're falling in love with the process. You're falling in love with who you're going to become, right? And just builds confidence, etc. So make sure for step number 4, you're reflecting on those goals periodically. And step 5, make necessary changes. If you haven't hit your goals by May, June, whatever the case is, make sure you're making necessary changes. Say, okay, maybe I could tweak this in my diet. Maybe if I change my form up a little bit, spread my legs a little bit more, I can plant my feet a little bit better and it'll give me more lifting power. Or, you know, maybe if I am not making enough money, can I do this? What if I try this strategy? Etc. Right? So make sure you're reflecting and making changes that are necessary to make sure that you're going to be able to accomplish those goals in 2017. So just to recap that, 1 is reflection, 2, set the New Year's resolution and goals, 3, set goals and strategies and execute upon them, right? Number 4, reflect on it periodically, and number 5, make the necessary changes. So if you stick to this framework in 2017, I guarantee you'll have success. So with that in mind, let me share with you some of the goals I have for 2017. Now, reflecting upon 2016, I think it was a great success, right? And taking some of those key learning lessons that I learned throughout 2016, I can now apply those into 2017 with the framework, right? Now, let's walk you through some of the goals I have for 2017. Goal number 1, finish 12 books throughout the year. So this is building upon the extension of what I did in 2016, that I didn't finish 12 books throughout the year. I read 12 books, but I didn't finish them, so let's make sure we're finishing our goals. Number 2, become more disciplined in the gym, maintaining 3 workouts per week. Goal number 3, maintain relationships built in 2016 with the entrepreneurs I met, and sending check-ins throughout the year. Preferably at least 3 check-ins per person per year. So if I haven't talked to someone for a period of time, let's check in, let's go for coffee, let's catch up, right? Goal number 4, continue to establish and build new relationships with people. And this also goes with goal number 3, is to make sure I'm maintaining those new relationships that we built. So goal number 5, build the habit of getting up in the morning before 5 a.m. Goal number 6, join a couple of online masterminds, at least 2 before September 30th. Goal number 7, graduate at the end of April, May, and go to convocation. Goal number 8, obtain at least a 3.1 GPA in my final semester of school. Goal number 9, getting in the habit of setting monthly goals every month throughout the year. Goal number 10, learn about different SEO strategies and implement them into BeInfluence. I want to obtain about 100 unique page views a day on the website. That's pretty good considering I'm at very low right now. Goal number 11, build something to give away for free when subscribing to the email list, right? So when you come to the BeInfluence website, you get a free ebook or whatever the case will be, right? Goal 12, get at least 1,000 followers on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, the email list, YouTube, 500 people on Snapchat. So I want to hit those milestones before the end of the year. The sooner, the better. And goal number 13 is to upload the first episodes onto the BeInfluence podcast before the end of January, which will be done way beforehand. So thanks guys for listening to the video today. I know we've covered a lot. We've covered 2016. We've covered some of the acknowledgements that I've made in my own life. I provided with a framework that you guys can go about and apply within 2017 for the goals that you want to accomplish. And we've also established some goals that we want to accomplish for 2017, taking some of the key learning lessons that we learned in 2016 and applying them for 2017. So thanks for listening to the YouTube video today, guys. It's greatly appreciated. Make sure you leave a comment down below for what your goals are for 2017. I'll be sure to read them. So if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll be posting a lot more different videos like this in the future, including some interviews with other entrepreneurs that I've connected with. And I think you guys are going to get a lot of value from it. So be sure to subscribe. Go to our website at beinfluence.com where you can keep up with the news. And I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks.